everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happen? You guys know what it is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. The podcast Rolling Stone Magazine describes as the one that initiates profound discussions with rock and metal artists, allowing fans to discover the creative workflow of other famed musicians and understand the factors that make the band succeed or fall from fame. We're also sponsored by Dark Fusion Systems, the best of your custom computing needs. Get $100 off your entire building code CVPod at darkfusionsystems.com. Link to the podcast below. Check out the list on millionpodcast.com. They rank podcasts all across the world according to many categories, and we appear on two of them when it comes to music, metal and metalcore. When it comes to the best metal podcasts in the world, we are in the top 10 at number 10. For the metalcore subgenre, though, we're at number 2. And I want to keep rising. I want to keep going up that leaderboard. I want to hit number 1 on both of them. So let's keep going. Let's go to feature presentation. This band reached out to me after listening to our first episode of 2026 with Machines, loving what we were doing. And they said, hey, can we be a part of this? We get a lot of interview requests and we turn a lot of them down, but we want to be a part of this one. Can we be a part of it? Oh, yeah, they're a part of it. Andrey and Sahsa from the band Major Moment are on the podcast today. First things we really go into is just how they're doing, what's going on, but then we really go into what is making the band special and stand out in the live setting today. We go through what they're doing and really take a look at the conceptual ideas and how you can take what they're doing, break it down to its core components, and make sure that you guys are doing the most for yourselves in a successful nature. We also talk about the things they've learned on the road as well, specifically what they discovered at Blue Ridge Rock Fest 2021 with how other bands hold themselves, carry themselves, make sure their live shows are the best possible, and how they took those principles and put them in their live show today. And new music coming? You guys ready? Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. After we released our first episode of 2026 with Eric from Machines, this band reached out to us saying they watch it, they love that type of conversation, and they wanted their shot at it as well. Funny enough, right when I saw that, I started laughing. I'm like, wait a minute. I know this band. I've heard of them before. Have I had a chance to see them? I looked through their tour posters, and every time they came close to me, I was like, I remember what I was doing that day. I was out of town. I was here. I was there.
No.
And it completely was like, man, so I can't bring any of that up. But we're all about promoting as many artists here as possible at the Chord Progression Podcast. You've seen some of the larger ones come in. You've seen some smaller one comes in. And you've seen ones that you may have never even heard about. This one, you might have heard about. They played Blue Ridge Rock Fest in 2021. They've been at Louder Than Life in 2023. And you're going to want to get to know them more, and we'll see what happens here. So please welcome Andrey and Sahsa from Major Moment to the podcast. So the two of you, welcome to the Chord Progression Podcast.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah, happy to be here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being on. I'm loving the energy. But first off, thank you for reaching out as well and just asking to be on the podcast. I think I even posted a clip from that Machines interview. I was like, this is how you do it. And you're the only ones that really ever did it right after I posted that. So
I'll be completely honest with you. We get slammed with interview and podcast requests, like to the extent where we have like our schedule is backed up so much. But I saw the clip of the interview that you posted, and I really enjoyed the conversation there that you were having. And it's an open and honest conversation about, the topics that are, near and dear to my heart as an emerging artist, right? And the topic that I think is very important to bring up is difficulties that artists face, the gatekeepers, the pay-to-play stuff, and all of that good stuff. You know what I mean? So I thought that would be the pod to be on. If anything, and again, we don't have to talk about it we discussed, right? We don't have to steer the conversation this way if it doesn't go this way. But we're just happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you guys. And yeah, I do remember that now too. It's been long days, a lot of interviews I've been in. So some things are kind of going in one ear and out the other in terms of my brain. I do remember you saying you get a lot of interview requests, and it's just now I feel all special inside because
you are special.
It depends on what way you're saying special, because people would take it one way or the other, depending upon who you ask.
No, in a good way. In a good way.
Hey, listen, it's good to be special in any way. You know what I mean?
It is. And again, I made some comments in the intro was saying I've heard that you played those festivals. Funny enough, I was at both of those festivals that I did mention. So, and knowing the fact that you guys have been out on the road, I think the one that I missed recently was I think it was October of 2025. You guys were on the road. I believe it was with Outlier because Joey's been on the podcast numerous times. Those conversations are always wild. And I was like, I get to see Joey play live again. This is going to be great. And I was not in the area. I was in Atlanta, Georgia, seeing one of my buddies get married. So I was like,
oh,
this always happens.
We also played in Atlanta, and it was a kind of a great show.
Yeah, kind of one of the best shows that we played. Yeah, it was wild. Yeah. So.
I mean, clearly you remember it because it was a wild show. All right, let's dive into it. Why was that a wild show? But again, why were you guys able to create such a wild experience for the fans live then?
So a few reasons.
Good question. Thank you.
The venue that we played, the Masquerade, right? It's like kind of like an iconic venue, right? And it's an awesome venue. Like everything from when we arrived to the venue and how we were treated there, with the stagehands, like literally meeting us outside and helping us out. Like I felt almost uncomfortable to the extent very special to the extent where like I have nothing to carry, like for once. What is going on there? And like, mind you, I'm a vocalist, right? So like people
was very comfortable, right?
People would make jokes that vocalists don't carry shit anyway, but not quite the case in major moments.
Right.
But just the setting of the venue, like we actually filmed some content backstage there, some reels for the most recent song that we released called Promises, and that video did extremely well on social media. On Facebook, we got like 200,000 views on it organically, which never happened before. And like I know other artists also kind of noticed where we filmed it, and they were like, I know exactly where that is.
We saw Glass Waves posting.
Glass Waves did it as well there, right? Yeah.
Too.
So, but the next point is the crowd was absolutely wild. The energy was just there. It's
welcome. But people were singing lyrics back to us, and the energy was just incredible. The whole night.
Yeah. It's there's difficult to describe what's special about one show or the other show, but the energy, the feedback from the people who probably have seen us for the first time, and mind you, we're the opening band, right? So most people are usually kind of skeptical towards the openers, right? Like they're there to see, for the most part, their favorite band, right? Like the band that they came to see. They treated us like equals, they loved the set, they gave us all of their energy. I don't know what Outlier and Silent Theory had up to that, because like all the energy that I felt like that they gave to us. But,
well, we did have some of our people there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Our subscribers. So that was great, because some of them were singing lyrics of Promises that we, at that time, haven't released yet. So that was incredible.
Yeah. Right.
So that kind of can drive some of the energy, too, when you have fans there that are absolutely, big into the band, love the band. And even as an opener, too, that stands out to reason that you're connecting with some people in some sort of way. And I know that for an opening band, especially on a tour where you're not playing in, arenas or some of the largest venues where there's thousands of people there, it's not an easy thing, especially when it's, on a smaller tour package. People are going to see typically just the headlining band. That's it. That's the only one they know. And it's going to take something from the opening band to get them to not only remember who that opening band is, but to want to go and check them out on their own when they get home. I've seen plenty of shows and venues that are kind of like the Masquerade. Funny enough, that wedding that I mentioned, the day after that wedding, we decided to stay one extra day because there was a show at the Masquerade we wanted to see.
Awesome.
We were Scottish pirates for a night because we saw Ailstorm.
Okay.
And it was a fucking blast. But
sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh God, it was a great time. But where I was going with that is as an opening band, especially maybe on a smaller tour package where not a lot of people know you, it's going to take something special for them to remember that. We've all been to plenty of shows. I've been to plenty of shows as well where smaller tour package, I'm only there to really see one band and that's it. And very rarely do I ever get to see like an opening band that just captures my attention right away and makes me want to go and see them more. Of course, I know a lot of people are trying, a lot of people are working towards that and want to get to that notoriety. But when you have the opportunity to do it, it just feels like at times there are certain artists that are falling flat. In that case, you guys didn't do that in Atlanta specifically, but when it comes to your live sets, what is it that you do that makes sure that you guys don't fall flat with a crowd, especially as the opening act that many people might not know at that point in time?
Well,
just staying in the moment, having the energy ourselves, and just, I don't know, like enjoying this time with our crowd, whoever that is. We're very grateful for people who would come earlier to shows to check out the opener band. It's very cool.
Yeah, I think we have quite a few elements that kind of separate us from I guess like an average band that you would see as an opener, right? Like we have an interesting dynamics here with male female vocals, right? We started having some kind of a color theme going on just this past year. You can probably tell, right? To where we kind of have certain stage elements that follow that color scheme. We have microphone stands that are lit up, with the dynamic lighting as well. We have a drummer that's absolute beast of a drummer. So that goes without saying. It's definitely part of the show. Steve, if you guys are not familiar with Steve, give him a follow on his social media. Like he's legit one of the best drummers I've seen. Mind you, he's the best drummer I've ever played with. So
right.
We have, unlike most bands in like metalcore / alternative metal genre or rock, we have some live synths on stage, samplers on stage. So that element, and it's all kind of
decorated myself with like in terms of the design. It aligns with the album that we just released recently. It's called The Pain That Makes Us Grow, and basically it has a skull with flowers, and just the whole overall theme between the life and death and all of that, combination of both worlds. And we have a beautiful synth station with flowers, and there is a skull on the bottom that lit up, and people has been liking it so far.
So to see a band that is playing keyboards on stage live, or synths and samples, that's already like a special extra point for the entertainment of the crowd. That's unusual, and we get that a lot. Like, oh, I've never seen anything like that, and it's like awesome. Well, that's why we do it, because we want to bring something interesting to people's lives, and whether through music, or maybe like that extra point is kind of becomes the gateway for them to start getting more interested in maybe the backstory of the band, or maybe the meaning behind the songs, the lyrics and whatnot, our story as well.
No, that makes more sense, especially from two aspects that you guys are really portraying that I don't really see from many other bands. One is definitely going to be that color scheme and that kind of unique color that's going to have some sort of connection to whether it's the band as a whole or the album cycle in general. Now, I know that I think it was a band like Beartooth had done something like that, where you look at what they did on Disease, and what they did on was that Devastation, and then what they did on The Surface. It's like the color changes throughout the album, or throughout the album cycles, and then the presentation of that color is always put forward. But I've seen them go away from that. But it's Beartooth. It's what's going to connect people to them is something different than that initial pop of maybe it's interesting to see what color comes in. But we know it's something that can be a connective piece to a band's music, to a band's art, and to the overall meaning and lore behind whatever songs are being put together. And I can clearly see right now, I mean, it's purple. Don't get me wrong. Purple is going to make me smile every single time I see it. But but also you can take those colors and you can pick and see, okay, what color is this really going to be putting out emotionally to a crowd? What is this going to represent, so that even before you get up on stage, when the lights go down in the venue and then the stage lights go on, and that's what people see, what is that emotion going to evoke already? How is that going to start? And then when they see a male and female vocalist go on stage together with the rest of the band, now you have that different dynamic to see how this whole entire live thing is going to play off between two vocalists, two different sexes. How is that going to work in that comparison? But then when you brought up the live synths, I can't remember the last time I saw a band doing really live synths. Everyone's doing them on backtracks. I get it because you can kind of control them in that way in a little bit of a different aspect. You don't always have to have someone that's going to be personally just focusing in on it. I've seen vocalists do the live synths as well and then take them away and do the backtrack so the vocals can be focused in on doing something up front. But if you have that live synth in there, it allows you to then take the overall emotion of the crowd and see what you can do to maybe just slightly tweak the sound. It's still going to connect to the song as well, but tweak the sound so that it makes a much more impactful connection to the audience that's there. Then it makes a more unique experience for every major moment show. It makes each show unlike the next. And it could be a little small, how do I put it? A little small Easter egg every single time. Like, what's the synth going to do now? What's the synth going to do in this song?
Right.
You're never going to get the same show
usually
twice.
It's
then.
like, where am I going to fuck it up?
Hey, fuck ups can work. They can be great.
Yeah, definitely. But it's funny. Well, I mean, the obvious example would be like a band like Bring Me the Horizon, right? Where like Jordan, when he was in the band, like he would be known as their keyboardist, right? So that's probably one of the more obvious examples that I can think of, but I can think of many others.
Wow.
And it's funny that you mentioned Beartooth about the color scheme and all of that, because I clearly remember back, I don't know, maybe like 5-6 years ago, right? We were going through different bands and like we were not really familiar with Beartooth at that time.
Yeah.
But we saw that they had a very well put
orange and black at that point.
Right.
Color scheme, and I
purple
loved
as
it
well, I
so
think.
much.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, I want to do something.
Yeah,
like that.
and we're like
to have a clear branding for the album or like whatever the cycle for the band.
And like,
so cool.
Yeah, I forgot about this until you reminded me about it. You know, because it's been like 6 years ago, so clearly like we didn't get to that point because of them. At least not consciously copying them, right? But it just it kind of happened for us organically. But it's because of our previous research and us paying attention to elements like design and branding. That's how we arrived to where we at right now.
Yeah, and even thinking about just how that branding can be used. I mean, Sasha, I'm seeing your hair color too, and I'm seeing the purple in it, so you're taking it to another step. I still remember...
that actually started from the hair.
Oh, that's how it all started?
That's the other way around, yeah. I wanted to color my hair for so long, and I had never, like, actually committed to doing that, and finally I was like, screw that, I want it right now. And then it came to picking the color. We have Diamante that is blue. We have Paramore that's orange. It used to be like, but that's how people remember it. So I had to pick the color that is not completely taken by something, like some image that is there. And I thought that purple would be like perfect.
Well, we have Gina Fritz.
Yeah, that's true.
Purple.
But different tone of purple.
Yes,
purple can be different,
So it's funny that we just started doing this, leaning towards that color scheme this year. I mean, now past year, right? In 2025. So if you watch like the first half of 2025 in pictures of Major Moment performing, like there's nothing that hints you towards that. And then it all kind of escalated from that. I don't remember. Did it start from the hair or did it start with the synth station?
No, definitely from the hair.
From the hair.
Yeah.
And then we started...
I was thinking we had a show coming up and I'm like, what if like everyone in the band matches my hair? And like my outfit was obviously purple already. So I'm like, if anyone can have like a one element that is purple, it doesn't have to be like the whole thing.
So the first time...
And it just went from there.
The first time that we had the synth station dressed up was at the Rasmus show.
Yeah.
I think you colored your hair after, no?
I think so.
Yeah, so it started... So we started our design improvements as far as the stage presence from the synth station decorating with flowers and skulls and bones. And then Sasha, shortly after, decided to dye her hair purple. And then from that, it kind of like all the elements, the lights on the microphones and all of that, it all kind of came together to the point where it already looked like a, like a legit band having a legit show, and not just like a local band scenario with just people playing their instruments, more like a show element to it.
It does really legitimize it as a show element, and it just kind of perked up something in my brain. I kind of want to see if this is something that could be possible to not only continue this color like scheme idea, but at the same time continue to evolve it over time, because I feel like, especially, you're going to be working on new music at some point in time, and that new music might have a different feel to it, might have a different mindset, different emotion that's driving it. So now the purple color might not connect fully with it, but as the lot, and it's, you pick a color scheme for that one. So you're still kind of doing the color scheme thing, but you're not so set on something, and it's not going to be like the color that defines the band. Like, even though Paramore got so much bigger, I mean, the red hair with Haley, that was always a defining feature. With Diamante, I remember the blue hair being such a defining feature that when she went back to her natural hair color, it kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm like, something doesn't make sense here. But what could be done with Major Moment is, okay, new music starts being worked on. It's a new emotion, and a new color could represent it. But then in the live setting, it's a slow changeover into that color. So now you start to see the flowers around the synth start to change. You start to see the different colors start to pop up in different pieces of the clothing. And then you really know it hits when Sasha's hair goes from whatever color the previous color scheme was to the new one. And it has this consistent flow of emotion, and you get to see this change consistently happen in real time. It's like measuring the evolution of a band. And then when it comes to your music as well, what happens if you get a brand new idea and you want to experiment with a different type of sound? That color change could even represent that, but also in a world where, yes, more people are open to experimentation, but you still get those crazy guys in there and those crazy fans in there that want you to sound the exact same as when they found you, and that's it. It gives them more of this acceptance into the transition of a brand new stage or a brand new side of the band.
Definitely.
Like, we're very open. We actually just talked about this. I was mentioning that, like, purple theme. How long do you think we're gonna go with this? Like,
well, I think, keeping in mind, we just started, like, realistically speaking, like half a year ago, right? We still have some time, but you just hit it on the
from that,
you just hit that spot on. Like, it has to be organic. The change has to be organic, and I kind of already see it. And I was about to say, we might have to send you royalty checks, to be honest with you, because you're spot on, man. Like, that's exactly what we would do.
I will absolutely take it. And then this is even thinking further beyond that as well. What happens? Let's go 10, 20 years down the line, multiple albums that are out there. You go on multiple cycles, multiple color schemes. Imagine taking a look at all the photos and all the video from that time frame, and you can just compile it together in like a 6-7 hour long video, and you're just going to be able to see the colors progressively change. So you can see this full evolution of the band. You can see the waves that it goes in. It creates a story without explicitly having to say it or explicitly even having to tell it. The story is being presented by you one small piece at a time, and it's something that we get to notice, and it's just kind of cool to pick out when these pieces are going to change. I could be honest with you. I could see you one show, and all of a sudden I see a little bit of green pop in there. Then the next time I see you, now there's much more green. You're seeing the interplay. You're seeing the intertwine. And if you ever want to go back to a different time period, or, you're on a 10-year anniversary, 20-year anniversary tour, could you imagine going back to that color and what the crowd would look like? The crowd would be so invested in this whole entire color scheme. You're going to see people coming to shows in waves of wearing purple, in waves of wearing green or orange or yellow or pink or red or blue or whatever color you pick.
I love your thinking, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. I love the way you think.
Watch 7-hour video nowadays. It's like,
well, we can
it's like 10 seconds.
We can time lapse it, right, into 7 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. That's about as short of attention spans as people have now, probably 0.07 seconds in 10 years, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
But even what we're talking about here, imagine all the other artists and bands that can take something from. I'm not saying take the whole color scheme idea, but what I'm saying is think about something that you can do that just creates a moment or creates something that makes people actually connect with it and can create a community type moment. I'm thinking about you guys going and playing live. Okay, purple is the color scheme. What happens if you're on a bill, maybe you're the middle band on a bill, and you're looking on the crowd and half the crowd is dressed in purple? And then all of a sudden, you see the color start to transition, and now half the crowd is in purple, and the other or most crowds in purple, but part of it's in green. You kind of get to see who's really there for a major moment at the exact time, or who's which fans. Are you driving to the show?
Right.
But then all of a sudden, people are going to start to get it, and they're going to see more of this connection to it. What happens if the other artists that are on the bill start playing into it as well? Now it's a whole tour part. Now it's a whole tour package that's being a part of this. You go out with Outlier, convince Joey to dye his hair purple or get purple tips. I feel like it could happen, and if he knows that was my idea, he might come and kick my ass, but that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Great.
Well, you go ahead, tell him that. We'll wait.
Funny you say that. We actually have something going on with colors. We have our merch. We decided to go with a specific design for each of the songs.
You know how every band ever just has black t-shirts, right?
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to do something different, really.
Design for 6 songs, I believe, 5 songs and 1 major moment type of thing.
General design, yeah.
With the ribs. And decided to go with specific color per design. So yeah, our merch stand is very colorful. You can see, besides black shirts, we obviously have to have them too. But I noticed that a lot of people say that, I'm so tired of those black shirts. I want some color. And
a surprising outcome, because when we were ordering them, and we have to order merch in bulk to kind of save on the cost, right, and keep the prices down. We were thinking, are we making a big mistake by ordering 500 shirts of different colors? Are we insane?
Orange or
yellow, exactly, or green.
People like that.
But turned out the people like those more than the black ones, because we had the same design split between the color design and the black shirt, just in case black is your color of choice. And almost everybody decided to go for the color. I think the overwhelming majority. Yeah,
it's exciting.
Well, especially still being in the heavy music scene, you're going to have black shirts at some point in time. Right. That's just the norm. That's what people always gravitate towards. If I looked in my closet right now, out of all the band shirts that I have, I can guarantee you that 75% of them are black t-shirts.
Exactly.
But lately, what I've been noticing too is I'm trying to find ones that don't have that. I remember people talking about go back to 2009, 2010. You look at the Asking Alexandria shirts, the Devil Wears Prada shirts, the Day to Remember shirts with the wacky, crazy cartoon monsters on there. Those were colorful. Those were big. Those were just in your face. And now I'm seeing, maybe not those designs that are that grand, but I'm seeing more white t-shirts pop up. I'm starting to see more yellow t-shirts pop up. We're starting to see a little bit more color in there. And it might just be, the fresh thing, but at the same time, we're dealing with a different type of rock and metal fan than we were dealing with before the pandemic hit, than we were dealing with 10 years ago. I mean, than we were dealing with 5 years ago even. There's younger fans that are coming into this, and I feel like the younger fans want that color as well. We're seeing the people that had been in the scene for so long, and the reason they don't want to see another black t-shirt or buy another black t-shirt is because what am I going to pick? My black t-shirt, my black t-shirt, my black t-shirt, or my black t-shirt? If there's something that stands out with a great design that has color in it, it's a unique piece, and people still want to have some of that sense of individuality even within their own t-shirts at shows. You go to a music festival and see all the wacky, crazy shirts that you're going to find, especially the t-shirts that you're going to think are ridiculous that you're going to remember. They usually aren't black t-shirts.
There you go. See?
And they usually
thought process behind it.
Fly off the shelves first as well.
My favorite moment is when the person comes into the merch table and says I always get black shirts, but today is gonna be the day.
One of each, please.
I love that.
And again, here's more just great stuff for not only for Major Moment to see and you guys to see. Clearly something that you're doing is really working, and this idea that you have not only is working but can be expanded upon so much further. But for younger artists, what can you take from what you have to make sure that, you know, you stand out in the crowd, but also that you stand out in a way that is still authentically you? Because if all of a sudden you're going to come up with some gimmick that someone else has completely done or everyone else has done to death, and you're going to do it because you think that's the popular way to go, it's not going to come across as authentic. And a lot of rock and metal fans, they're going to pull away from that because they kind of see it as a carbon copy, or they see it as a quote unquote sellout. But if you're doing an idea and it's coming from an absolute genuine place, even if other people have maybe done a very similar idea before, you put your own twist on it, put your own spin on it, put your own kind of individuality into it, like what you guys are doing, and you're seeing the returns on the fans coming to the show, the fans coming to the merch room and buying the colorful shirts. You're seeing how this whole entire idea of color is really working within the band and creating something that when you go to a live show, you really aren't seen that many other places, but it's being embraced in a way that the fans can just absolutely connect with, from not even an audio like aspect, from a visual aspect, and just feeling the vibes and the energy of everyone else being a part of it.
Oh, definitely. And it's cool that you mentioned not just the audio, but also the visuals. I almost completely forgot to mention, we also worked very hard, and a lot of emerging bands now have like lighting rigs that are synced to the music. So we have that in the works. That's kind of our next big project. But we also have visuals that we take either from lyric videos or music videos, or some of them are custom designed. Sasha worked on a couple, and they work very well with the venues that have like an LED wall or a projector backdrop, right? So in that case, like all of our songs also have a visual that go with it.
Good old MTV days.
Right.
We love music videos, and we ourselves have like 12, 13 music videos.
Yeah.
Besides the ones that in the works, we still have a couple that are unreleased. Like visual aspects of the show and on YouTube is very important to us.
Right, just stage design, all of those aspects, like they're very important. We started.
It creates another dimension, right? It's like you see it, you feel it, you experience it live. It's just like comes across.
Right. We have like a skull, like a made out of like clay or something, right?
Probably.
Like a human skull.
Hopefully not
not an actual human skull. Hopefully. But we also decorated with the flowers growing through it, and we put it on the platform where the synths are. The synth stand is on. And then you go to the merch table, and there's another one there, like a copy. So we have like a theme going on there, right? And then we have like a tip jar that like with the skull slightly open that says "Help us grow," right? With the flowers growing out of it as well. So when people feel generous, they can also throw like a buck or two over there. So we try to think of like all the different aspects across the board and like connect all the dots into something that I guess you can call branding, right?
Yeah, creates a bigger picture.
Right.
Oh, it does create a vision. It does create a bigger picture, and you can see it on like maybe more of a concentrated scale of what Major Moment is doing. But I also think about it, take a look at it from a grander, maybe more expressive example of the visual presentation of everything. And since 2018, it's really hard for me to say anyone's done it better than what Ice Nine Kills has done, because I remember seeing them first time. This would have been November of 2019. It was a smaller venue, basement stage, maybe a couple hundred, like 600 people there. And it was still insanely captivating to see what they were doing. And the production still was nowhere near what it was today. I go see them live now, and it's like a
theater.
It's a horror movie montage theater on stage while heavy music is being played and the crowd is going nuts. So visually, there's this expression, there's this connection. I'm seeing people in the crowd dressed as either horror movie characters or moshing in suits. It's something that connects in a very incredible way. Or you can do something on a very small scale, like what I started doing. This would have been back in 2021. I wear the same hat to every single show I go to. I wear the same hat all the time, no matter if I'm here in Milwaukee, if I go to Chicago, go to Massachusetts, if I go to music festival like Larger Than Life, I'm always wearing the same hat. It's a very small thing, but when it comes to like maybe branding, but also for people to recognize me, it's very easy to find me. But at the same time, I'm always in the pit. I'm always doing something crazy. It got to a point in time where if you see the guy in the Milwaukee Brewers hat going in somewhere for a crowd at Larger Than Life, people know to follow me to wherever I'm going because that's where the pit's going to start. It's
nice.
It's a small piece, but it's something where something that's simple for any artist, whether it could be the largest thing, could be the smallest thing, but if it's something that visually people can use to connect you to something or connect to you in some certain way, it's going to take it much further. It doesn't have to be overt. It doesn't have to be subtle. It just has to be noticeable.
For sure.
Ice Nine Kills actually took on a really hard task, difficult task to implement, right? And they killed it. Like that concept, they nailing it to the T, and it's a great experience for sure. We haven't seen them live yet.
We've seen them from side stage at Blue Ridge.
Really?
We were standing side stage. So I've seen their drummer doing the practice on the drum pad, and all the props just laying there, and so I was just like looking there and studying what they're doing. I was just like, that's insanity. What's going on there? They have like all the masks laid down there, like prepped for everybody because like you have to be very precise with the changeovers. You cannot have everything in the bag because like you're gonna be searching there for 25 minutes, right?
Yeah, I totally remember. But like the whole Blue Ridge experience, it was so overwhelming. There's like so many memories from there. It's just crazy.
I agree. That was a little overwhelming with what I had to go through. I don't
which year was yours? 23 or?
I was there for both 21 and 23.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, 23 was definitely something else, right?
I thought 21 was something else with what we had to deal with camping on site, and instead of camping in the on-site spot, we essentially camped in the daytime parking lot. With no access to showers or any bathrooms or running water for 4 days. But you make do with what you got.
Yeah, it's obviously, goes without saying that they had a fair share of very serious issues, right? I don't think anybody, including the management and the owners, would be arguing against that. Like they had their challenges, and that some of them, led to the festival coming to an end, unfortunately. But for us as an artist, it was still like, regardless of all of those little things, like, and for most concert goers, maybe like gonna say it's not a little thing, it's bullshit. Like, what the hell? Like, I paid $600 for this. Like, are you out of your mind? I totally get that. Yeah, but like for us, it was such a cool experience. Like maybe I'm just romanticizing it right now, right? But like it was our first ever performance on the big stage like that.
Yeah, our photographer didn't make it to our set because of the traffic.
She was stuck in that one lane of traffic going to the entrance for like 3 hours, and we were already done with the set when she arrived. So not needless to say, a lot of our fans didn't make it there either, but we had a solid crowd there, and we were able to capture it on video.
We
and
got them afterwards, though.
Yeah, and it's available on our YouTube channel for everybody to watch. It was one of the first experiences where we actually tried to connect, our performance with like different interludes between the songs, and they have like an intro that is also played, that is being built up layer by layer, element by element through the drum pad, the electronic drum pad, and synths that and the sampler that Sahsa is playing. So I'm super proud of that. I guess
Production?
that we were able to pull off. Again, right now I would do certain things differently, but at that time that was like the thing for us. It's just like, we've never done anything like that before, and there were so many things that could go wrong, and some of them obviously did. But we had a lot
playing before Skillet and Breaking Benjamin, I gotta tell you.
Yeah. It's humbling and it's inspiring at the same time. So we were super grateful for that opportunity, regardless of all the shortcomings. We had a lot of fun, honestly, and we met a ton of fans, and made a lot of new friends, and some of them are still fans of Major Moment. Most of them are still fans of Major Moment to this day, and they tell us like, "Oh, I remember I discovered you there at the Blue Ridge," and everybody was so supportive. We sold a shit ton of merch there. Like that was the biggest merch sales day for us at that time ever. Everybody was so friendly and supportive. Everybody wanted us to sign something, and everybody wanted a picture. It was just like a rock star treatment, and we really, really appreciated that, and that connection with people who still make that connection with us, right? Write us every once in a while. And another part of that experience, the whole experience, was that we were given backstage passes. So we were basically able to, for better or worse, for the most part, for the most acts, they did not have like a security.
It's up to the artist. They can close the backstage, or they can open it for others to see.
And most artists didn't bother to close it, right?
Yeah.
So we were able to see Bad Omens side stage before the death of Peace of Mind, right? Like on their previous album cycle, before they blew up into the stratosphere, right? And like watching them, I was like, well, that band has something cool going on to them as well, right? Yeah. I wasn't right about that one. And then who else did we?
Skin Alexandria.
Skin Alexandria, Cypress Hill, Starset. It's
It was insane.
Ice Nine Kills. Yeah, it's a ton of bands, and we were so happy to see the backstage and like all the production elements, and for me as a gear geek. I usually am responsible for setting up our live rig, and like the synths is basically my
the main part
creation, right?
Yeah.
So it was very cool for me to see and steal like little secrets here and there, spy on other bands, like what are you doing here? What are they doing there? Or what kind of like a controller are they using there? Why are they using this controller? What kind of a software are they using for running backing tracks, or like how are they looping these sections? It's like because information like that, it's very scarce. You know what I mean? So even from that perspective, it was very valuable.
Very impressed with the stage setup. It was like very clean.
Yeah.
It was like no extra cables
anywhere.
It's just like maybe a paddle board. Somebody even doesn't use it on stage. Like it's in the rig.
So we learned a lot of things just from being backstage and watching more successful acts, bigger acts perform there. And I think that's the name of the game. You just kind of pick up a thing or two here and there and try to implement it and grow, into your own version of that bigger artist.
Yeah, I don't think you're necessarily romanticizing that whole entire experience just based on, we all know the problems that happened there. We all experienced it. I think one of the major reasons why a lot of people still have a lot of fond memories of Blue Ridge 2021, and I look at this too, was because the bands and the fans made it the way it was. The bands were put on there, and they, even with all some of the stuff that some of them had to go through with all the traffic, all the setup and whatnot, some of the issues, they put on one hell of a show for the fans to make sure that the fans got exactly what they came for. And the fans responded in kind by some of those shows were absolutely wild, insane. But what you spoke about with a lot of that is you're basically taking a look at these opportunities to be students of music, be students of what it's like to be in a band and what it's like to be a bigger band as well when you get a chance to actually see that live. You're getting to take a look and ingest all the information that's there. What's making these bands, have the best live show? How's their setup enhancing what they're doing? What's the concepts behind that? What's the concepts behind the presentation? What's the concepts behind how they carry themselves throughout the entirety of this process? You're seeing that and you're not looking at that and thinking, oh man, this is cool. Like just being like fully, smooth brain golden retriever type energy.
There are moments of that as well.
That's true for a second, but then I'm starting to like catch up on things. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're taking that and then you're able to learn, you're able to take that and figure out when you go home, how do we implement some of those principles into what we're doing for us so that we can make sure that the live show we're putting on for our fans and for the fans that don't know us but will become our fans is going to be the best possible, so that when the show is over, whatever bill we're on, even if we're the opener, we're the ones that get remembered for what we did. We're the ones that people want to go and see again. We're the ones that people want to go and support and listen to. We're the ones that people want to stop by the merch stand because the color shirts are fucking in right now, and I don't see them going away nearly anytime soon. So there's a whole lot here that you guys have done as Major Moment to understand what it takes to not only get to a spot where maybe you, of course, start out, small, local, get to that regional, now national level where you'll be able to tour all the way across the country. It's the main key now is what's going to happen next. We're at the beginning of 2026. What is now going to happen next to get you to the next level?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, first off, we're finishing our sophomore album, full-length album. That's called In Love and War, and Promises is the debut single off of that album.
Yeah.
It's almost done. It's coming out in 2026. It's available for pre-orders right now. So if you go on our website, majormomentband.com, you'll be able to pre-order it on CD or vinyl. And the benefit of doing that is that you'll get to hear it first before it's available on streaming. And I don't mean it like a week before. I mean it like months and months before. And we've done it before with our previous album, the recent one, right? Where we shipped test pressings literally like 3 years before the album was up on streaming, or like 2 years before the album was on streaming, right? Before the album went into like mass production.
Yeah.
So those few lucky fans who, and very generous fans as well, who were kind enough to support us and pick up that test pressing copy of a vinyl, they were like happy out of their minds. Obviously, it's all numbered, it's all signed. Like we try to make it like super special. We have like we printed out because they don't come with the test pressing copies. They don't come with covers.
Yeah.
So they don't come with like a track listing or lyrics. So we had track listing printed out on special paper that incorporated leaves, because the name of the album is The Pain That Makes Us Grow. So we wanted to play off of that growing theme, right?
And there was also a note printed on another type of paper that you can actually
that had seeds.
Yeah, put in the
inside of
soil
paper
and grow something out of it.
Yeah, so that was a little something cool that we did. But we're gonna do something special for this one as well. We have test pressings, obviously, colored vinyl, cassettes, CDs, all 9 yards. We're super big when it comes to physical media, right?
Yeah, we love it.
Oh, I'm big when it comes to physical media too. I mean, just give me more vinyls to put on this bad boy. But that makes it an exciting thing for 2026 that there's new music coming out, and now with of course new music coming out as well, a new album. That means, how is this going to be incorporated into the live show? How is this going to be incorporated into what you're doing even on social media as well? How is this all going to interplay to make sure that by, let's say, beginning of 2027, we run this back, we bring the two of you back, and we see what's going on? It gets to a point where Major Moment's at a level that you're consistently on the road touring nationally, if that's what you want to do. More and more people get to know who you guys are. And let's just say 2027 is the year that Major Moment is playing festivals in Europe.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty reasonable goal, I think. 2027, we're actually thinking about maybe starting like a Kickstarter or Indiegogo because we have a ton of fans asking us every single day to go to Brazil, to go to Europe. You know, come to Brazil. Every single
Always come
comment,
to Brazil. Always
every
Brazil.
single comment ever. Yeah.
So awesome.
So unfortunately, due to the specifics of the industry and the economics of being an independent band, like the only way we can currently afford to go and travel internationally is especially to like Europe, right?
Yeah.
Canada could be like a lot easier, but like go to Europe, it would involve flights, it will involve renting gear, or you know, paying extra hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get our gear in there.
Visa tickets.
Right. So maybe the Kickstarter is the way to go when it comes to that, and we'll see if the demand is strong, is even strong enough for us to go there in 2027. Maybe the festivals will also kind of pick it up and invite us.
That'd be awesome.
Well, we'll keep that as a reasonable goal. We'll bring this back at the beginning of 2027, and we'll see how you guys are doing. How about that?
Yeah,
Sounds good,
totally.
yeah.
But meanwhile, we'll see. We'll hope to see a lot of you guys out when we're out on the road this year in 2026. We're planning to expand further than we've played in the past year in 2025.
49 shows.
80. It sounds like you spoke about this year, right?
Right.
Alrighty.
It's the goal for this year.
Right. We played 49 shows.
Beat it.
And went all the way as far west as Illinois and as far south as Florida. So we kind of toured, you know, maybe 25% of the rightmost United States. And then hoping to expand even further out west and, you know, conquer some new territories in the best way possible.
Well,
With
let's
our
hope.
music, of course.
I'll say let's hope for it. We're going to hold you to that. So we're going to see what happens at this time in 2027. We'll bring you back and we'll just have an update on what happened with Major Moment. Did they make good on all those, you know, hopes and dreams and promises?
And promises we made, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, Andrey and Sahsa, I got one more question for the two of you before we wrap this up. It's something I like to ask every artist I bring on the podcast. Been doing this since the day I interviewed somebody before Blue Ridge Rock Fest 2023. So yeah, you're tying it back to Blue Ridge, how this question came about. It's something I like to ask for us as the Chord Progression Podcast fans and myself to get into more great new music, and for you to get to support the music you love. I'm going to ask for 3 between the two of you, because otherwise, if I go more, we'll be here all day, and we'll probably fall asleep at some point in time just doing this. But between the two of you, can you name me 3 bands or artists that you love that you would love to see more people get into right now?
Oh, that's good.
All right. The timer is ticking, right?
Yeah.
More people should get into. That's such a loaded question, to be honest with you. I was
Post on our social media all the time with all the bands that we discovered ourselves, and they're on a smaller scale right now, but a lot of people have to check out. So,
yeah, occasionally we have videos where we kind of introduce here are the artists that we discovered, like female-fronted bands, for example, right? And then there's a list of bands, because there are so many that we've discovered just this past year alone. It's probably like upwards of 100 for sure. Just female-fronted bands. And then other bands as well. So like overall, it's like hundreds and hundreds of super talented bands. You know, like who can we name that people should really get into more? What do you think? Well, I would say I would go as far as to say, if you're not if you're not familiar with Dakota, you probably should look them up. They're doing something cool, something interesting. And, you know, I'm very excited to see where they go. They have all of these production elements that we talked about, like kind of figured out, you know, on a very, very early stage of their career, right? Like they just released a few songs, right? Not in an album, right? But they already have like video screens going on and the full light show, and in some aspects, let's say, they're already further in the game than us, you know. So we have to learn from them as well now. All right, now your turn. Let's go.
How about Deadlands?
I feel like Deadlands, like a lot of people know them though. No, what would you say?
I think they're.
I think a lot of people specifically in rock and metal know them that really do, but I wish more people knew them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Let's feel sad, but
right.
Yeah.
Let's go with Deadlands then, and then now it's back to me. Huh? It's crazy.
It's like so many. I cannot.
Yeah, it's it's not fair.
Especially we're now watching Fins TV, which everyone should check out. Bobby Shabansky is streaming now like 23 days straight online, but he has a podcast called Fins TV where he's going through independent artists and highlighting their music.
It's kind of like an old school MTV where he just plays like a music video, and then the chat goes into like, oh, we want to see more of that artist, so that then he goes into like a deep dive and like plays 3 more songs or like 2 more songs from that artist.
Yeah.
And it's all in front of like the chat and like there's like 100 or a couple hundred people watching online, right? And then the episodes are available for replay. So like he's doing something cool, and we're always there in the chat as well. He played us numerous times. He played, a ton of bands. There's like hundreds of bands as well.
That perspective, I think we can name Easy Rain.
Easy Rain.
She's amazing. She's doing something really great. If you don't know her, check out the music videos, and anywhere she's also an incredible artist.
Yep. Totally agree.
For a second, I thought that third one was going to be that other podcast, Old School MTV, and my response was going to be, if you want to use that as your third, because if someone's promoting even more independent artists too, let's support that too.
Exactly.
We should. That's an extra added bonus. So Fins TV on YouTube.
Mention goes to Fins TV.
Yeah, for sure. Super friendly atmosphere there in the chat as well. Everybody's so supportive. So yeah, if you guys either a fan of music in general and you love supporting and discovering new music, that's the place for you to be. Or if you're in a band and you want your band to be discovered by more fans, that's the place to be. Like when we got our music video played, we got like, I don't know, 50, 60 follows on our Instagram, like instantly. That's pretty insane.
Crazy enough, I'll say I asked for 3, you gave me 3 and a bonus. You broke the rules, but this is a podcast. This isn't like network TV or something like that, or something that's super rigid. Breaking the rules just happens. Who gives a shit?
Right, exactly.
Perfect. Well, Andrey and Sahsa, I want to thank you both for taking the time to be on the podcast. Thank you for reaching out as well and being a part. I hope you enjoyed yourselves because I did. And we're going to end this episode with 3 things. First things first. Major moment. We talked a lot about the live experience, live show, what they're doing and how it's going to make sure that this is going to connect with fans so that they continue to grow. They also mentioned that there's more new music coming out with a new album in 2026. So you're not going to want to miss out on what they got going on. So go description of the podcast below where it says find Major Moment online, links and labels for everything, social media where you can listen to music, where you can watch your YouTube videos, you can watch those music videos, where you can get some colorful merch and see the band play live when they're out on the road in 2026. It's all going to be down there for you. So you can have that one-stop shop to click on a link and go. I'm doing all the hard work for you. All you have to do is click the link and go. So go and do it. Do it.
Do it.
Do
it. Now it's time for number 2. Whenever I've guested on the podcast or driven the podcast, I tend to make a certain promise as a way to say, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time and I wish to continue to support you in the future. This is how we do it. The promise is when, because that implies it will happen, but day or time right now to be determined. But when I get to see you perform live for the first time, I will come and find you. I will come and say hello to you. I will definitely be picking up some sort of colorful shirt, but that's not the actual promise. The real promise is first round's on me.
Okay, that's fair.
Sounds good. Great.
Thank you for that.
You are very welcome. And now it's time for number 3. We cannot end this by saying goodbye. That is way too final because 1, I made a promise to you guys that I have to keep. And 2, we got to check in with you next year on this podcast to see if the promises going into 2027 were kept as well. So goodbye. No. That's way too final. We're going to end it by saying, I'll see you later.
See you next year.
Thank you.
Woo! Well, folks, my interview with Andrey and Sahsa from the band Major Moment. Now it's time for Kevin's final thought. When we first got into that discussion about what they're doing with the theming of color and purple, that's really where, for me, the conversation took off. Yes, we have seen other artists do the color thing. We've seen them really create that as a piece of their identity. But what Major Moment can do with this really creates that visual connection that I think a lot of artists, especially the younger ones, lack and are missing. Let's be honest. We've all seen a number of those local bands, even some of the regional ones as well. When we see them up on stage, when we see them play live, what do we see? We see a lot of the exact same stuff. We see guys that look like they just got off of work and they came in the clothes they normally wear at home, or they normally wear just outside when they're going by a friend's house, up on stage, playing their show, just ripping it, looking like a couple of guys that just play music throughout the day. That's pretty much it. You don't see as much of that specialness or that much of a piece that's going to connect you outside of the audio way of it. Because when people have a way to connect with a show visually or connect with it on a more just multi-sense level, more and more people are going to be able to get into it. More people are going to connect with it. What happens if that color becomes a huge part of the show? What happens if it becomes a huge part of the crowd? Not only does that show start out with a visual connection and visual representation, it starts out before the first note is even played. There's something that's even grander there. There's a branding that's there. And who knows what they're going to do by taking that idea and transitioning that color throughout the course of time based on the album cycle. I know we've seen Beartooth do it, but they could do it in a way that no one really has done by incorporating that so much into their show, where you see the transition of color happen in real time over the course of a number of shows, a number of tours. I could see it happen, and it gives Major Moment a visual aspect piece that you can connect with in a live setting, and you're going to want to check it out more. You're going to want to become a part of it, and they're embracing it. Color t-shirts, I'm in. And we're going to connect with Major Moment once again to check in when they got new music coming out and to see if those promises they made going into 2027 come true. I want to thank Andrey and Sahsa for being on the podcast today. When it comes to Major Moment, go to description of the podcast below. Links and labels for where to find them, where to check out their music, where to go get some merch, and where to go check them out on a live show are in the description of the podcast below. Also, be sure to follow along with us online. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you're on YouTube, the subscribe button is right down here. Please subscribe to the Chord Progression Podcast channel. We are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, so hit the like and subscribe and follow button on those. Also, when I said like button, hit the like button on these episodes as well. We put out episodes every single Tuesday and Thursday. We want more people to get to know about these great new artists and other established artists as well. So keep doing that. It helps push us in the algorithm and get us more well-known. Also, leave a comment. What do you think about the whole color scheme idea? What do you think about the concepts of what they've learned? Let us know what you think. Let's just keep rolling. Let's just keep going. Thank you, everybody. And on that note, that's going to be me. Thank you for listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin. And you guys know how I end every single one. That's the big, healthy, and hearty. See ya. Yeah.